let's leave that one. And let's see, the Whoopi Goldberg incident. Are you sure you familiar with that story?
Yes, I also feel attacked. I think you just brought up that story because I don't have eyebrows and she don't have eyebrows, so I feel like I feel attacked by you bringing that up. But go ahead and bring it up anyway. I see what you're doing.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to
alopecia.
I'm
I
trying to
see what
make the
you're doing.
screen bigger.
No, I want so you can see the alopecia of the eyebrows. It's because I can't express myself. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
I mean, you always look
Okay,
surprised.
okay. Well, that's why you can't. I don't have the eyebrow. I got alopecia of the eyebrows, and so does Whoopi Goldberg. She my Kendrick sister. We can't help it. We express ourselves with our earlobes.
That your earlobes. That's why both of y'all getting canceled because you always look surprised.
Hey, sick of it. Sick
He
of it.
got married yesterday. Why are you act so surprised? I'm not surprised.
But
I'm actually happy.
it's something about having eyebrow meat and no eyebrows. It just bothers my soul.
Would you rather have no eyebrows or a unibrow?
At this point in unibrow, because you can shave a unibrow, but I can't shave what I ain't got. I just literally got eyebrow meat. It just sits there. It's a chunk of meat above my eyelids, and it's just rude. You just now I have to draw something up there because there's nothing up there. But
Girl,
anywho,
that's why you become Hispanic and just get a magic marker and put it up there. Permanent
nah,
thing. You good.
I can't do it. We just go RIP to the eyebrows.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
The story, though, the story is not her eyebrows this time. That's been an ongoing thing for like 3 decades or more. But the story is Whoopi Goldberg was on her show, The View, and she said some inflammatory remarks. It was viewed as inflammatory remarks about Jews and the Holocaust. Most people don't want to even touch on that, but I'll show you a clip of it so you can get a hang of what she's talking about.
Holocaust isn't about race.
No.
No, it's not about
maybe
race.
ethnicity.
No, it's about
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy.
I feel being black, when we talk about race, it's a very different thing to me. So I said that I felt that the Holocaust wasn't about race. And people got very, very, very angry and still are angry. I mean, I'm getting, all of the mail from folks and the very real anger. I don't want to fake apologize.
Aisha, I'll let you go first. What do you think there was anything wrong with what she said that deserved a 2-week suspension?
Let's flip the script a little bit and let's say that she said that George Floyd situation was not about race. You think they would have suspended her?
No, because they were like,
No,
she's black,
they would.
so
Right, yeah, exactly. So what they do is they tend to take themselves out of the picture when it's about certain things. And so I think they put their feelings in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I really feel like this is one of those times. That was her opinion. It wasn't a fact. She was saying that was her opinion of it. And I thought that The View and the talk to those shows of that nature is to give your point of view. So if you're going to get punished for your point of view being, especially a minority at the table who's been there through half the crap that most of them can't even say way back in the day, now all of a sudden you want to penalize her for having an opinion. But where was that penalization when everybody had an opinion about all the Karens and all the George Floyd, when those were clearly racial issues?
No, that was
But
just being
everybody cares
divisive
about
then. Yeah.
Oh, so we got selective punishments. Okay, that's what
Right.
it sounds like to me.
Basically.
Yeah.
For sure.
They can kiss my selective ass, and still has rights in the black community.
For sure.
Chris, what you got to say about it?
Wow, brother, sister, there was nothing that she said that was wrong or out of place, in my opinion. And again, she was just stating an opinion. I mean, as much as they try to remove from us or not tell us the truth on history and all these different things, and even coming up with what we're going to speak about later on, it's almost the same thing. They don't want to take any accountability or Anybody who says anything that's not their narrative, true or false, they want to make him out to be a bad person or a bad guy, or you shouldn't have said that, or you shouldn't have. Nah. You know, everybody needs to speak their mind. This is America. Speak your mind. But I don't see that she said anything that was terrible or hurtful. And although it was her opinion, to me, you know, a lot of it was fact.
Okay, I was about to ask you, did you think her argument was good? You know, not just her being suspended. Do you think her argument was correct?
I mean, I think it is correct because, again, you know, I know I don't hang around them much anymore. I talk to them like I did, you know, like when I was younger. I know Jewish people, and I know just a social group of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have their perceptions and speak their belief, but they want you to accept that for what it is. But if I say back to them, it's just like, you know, if they made an opinion about us,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know, that opinion is not true because each one of us are individuals, for one. And everybody's not the same. Everybody's not the same individual. All of us don't act the same. We don't carry out the same type of, you know, we don't all live in the same areas and things of that nature. So there's going to be different people. You have to go by the individual as opposed to what somebody said about a culture or what they reported about a culture. You know, so I still find what she said to be okay. I don't see anything wrong with what she said, her argument. Well, what are your thoughts, bro?
I think there's both. I don't think she should have been suspended. Again, she has given her opinion about something, and that is the problem with cancel culture or whatever you want to call it, is people are now allowed to talk and hear other people's point of views and hope that you can change the other person's mind on the other side of the table. Now, where I think she is right, Jewish people, by classification of race, are not a race. They're not.
Right.
There's 4 races that is recognized by anthropologists. There's Negroid, there's Caucasoid, there's Mongoloid, and Australoid. If I'm saying that right, Australoid. I hope I'm saying that right. Jewish is not recognized as a race. It's recognized as ethnicity. Ethnicity is where you recognize differences between people, mostly on the basis of language and of their culture. That is an ethnic person. Here's one thing that's been left out. I haven't seen, and I'm not sure why Whoopi didn't even say this. If she has, I haven't seen it in any of her arguments. Whoopi Goldberg is Jewish. She is of the Jewish faith, so she is considered a Jew, or Jewish rather. Mm-hmm. Sammy Davis Jr. followed the Jewish religion. He followed Judaism, and he is recognized as Jewish. So, last I checked, you can't just become black by becoming a Baptist. You're born that way. You know, but you know, race is, you know, it's a crazy thing to even talk about anyway, because again, you know, race is usually seen by physical characteristics, skin, hair, you know, texture, your color. Those are things people usually classify your race as, and people go even deeper. They try to put intelligence in there. That's where racism usually stems from. Now, where I will say she was wrong, and slightly wrong, I want to say slightly wrong, Hitler did look at them as a race. He looked at them as an inferior race.
Right.
That's not to say he was right to look at them as a race, but that is how he looked at them. He looked at them as an inferior race. That's what the Nuremberg laws were for, to be able to recognize and execute people who are of the Jewish faith. And if you had, I believe, your mother was of the Jewish faith, or your grandmother, I think it was Jewish faith, you were considered a Jew. You know, just because your grandmother worshipped Judaism, whatever. But that means Whoopi Goldberg would have went in that category too, because like I said, she's considered a Jew too. Sammy Davis would have been in the same category. You can't become a racist because you're in a religion. That's a cultural difference. That is not based off of race. So that's why I say she was slightly wrong. Hitler did think Jews, or he tried to paint Jews as a race, but technically they are not a race. So she's not wrong, but she's somewhat right. Well, she's mostly right, but she's slightly wrong. And the argument was it wasn't about race. I think it was about race, but I think Hitler got it wrong too, because if you look at the classifications, Jewish is not seen as a race. Negroid, Caucasoid, Mongoloid, Australoid.
And in their eyes, Red Naisha, she had 3 strikes for her being Jewish, for her being black, and for her being a woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
I mean, it's crazy anyway to even. I know we all do that. I mean, because race was not a thing until about the 18th century. Race, even people not even from here don't look at race as a thing. They separate each other from tribes.
Right.
They don't look. That was an 18th century classification, almost pretty much to bring, to make black people or any other race look inferior to the other.
Inferiority and the excuse to rob, pillage, take over, and just do atrocious things.
Right. I mean, okay, well, look at this point. You have more in common. I'm talking about you, Chris and Aisha. You have more in common with your DNA variation. You have more in common with someone in China than you do in your own family, as far as genome variation. You're as close to them in DNA variation than you are your own family. You have a more variable DNA within the construct of where you live, your family, than you do in somebody in China.
That's something.
All right. You know how close you are with DNA with everybody in the world? You're 99.1% the same as everyone in the entire world when it comes to DNA. 99.1. Most of that is, like I said, skin, hair texture, stuff like that. But of all the things that traits, all the things that make you who you are, you pretty much have everything in common with everybody.
With everybody.
It's just based on pretty much where you live at, and nature takes its course of how dark your skin is, how skinny your nose is, how tall you are, how short you are. All that are factors. That was not something that was in 16th century, beginning of time. People were separated by tribes, not by color. That is a social construct. But unfortunately, we live in that social construct right now. I mean, let's think about it. If somebody is Somalian or someone is from Kenya, what do they call them if they come into America? What would you call them? If you didn't know where they came from, what would you call them?
A lot of you they would say African or from Egypt or somewhere of that line. If you're talking about Somalia or whatever.
Now, if you didn't know where they were from, you just saw them at the store.
Oh, black, just black.
Black.
They just black. Yeah.
Right. And you probably, if they didn't say where they were from in Africa, you would just say they're African, right? You just say, I'm from Africa. You wouldn't probably ask which part. You just like, oh, they're African. And the crazy thing is, let's see, what is his name? Charlize Theron. You ever heard of that actress?
Yeah.
All right. You know where she's from?
South Africa.
Exactly. I'm trying to see if I can show the picture. I probably can't even show it up right now. She is from South Africa. She's a white lady. See how crazy that sounds? But and to get off the subject a little bit, do you think you should be called African American or just American?
Just American, for real. I mean, if we live on this, it's America's the continent. What the hell are Afro got to be attached to it for?